Saterland Frisian, also known as Sater Frisian or Saterlandic, is the last living dialect of the East Frisian language. It is closely related to the other Frisian languages, North Frisian, which, like Saterland Frisian, is spoken in Germany, and West Frisian, which is spoken in the Netherlands. Old East Frisian and its decline. Old East Frisian used to be spoken in East Frisia, the region between the Dutch river Lauwers and the German river Weser. The area also included two small districts on the east bank of the Weser, the lands of Wersen and Woerden. The Old East Frisian language could be divided into two dialect groups, West Frisian to the east and Ems Frisian to the west. From 1500 onwards, Old East Frisian slowly had to give way in the face of the severe pressure put on it by the surrounding Low German dialects, and nowadays it is all but extinct. By the middle of the 17th century, Ems Frisian had almost completely died out. West Frisian, for the most part, did not last much longer, and held on only until 1700, although there are records of it still being spoken in the land of Wersen, to the east of the river Weser. In 1723, it held out the longest on the island of Vangeruga, where the very last West Frisian speaker died in 1953. Today, the Old East Frisian language is no longer spoken within the historical borders of East Frisia. However, a large number of the inhabitants of that region still consider themselves Frisians, referring to the dialect of Low German as Friesk. In this dialect, referred to in German as Ostfriesisch, the Frisian substratum is still evident, despite heavy Germanization. Sater Frisian, the last remaining living remnant of Old East Frisian, is an Ems Frisian dialect called Sater Frisian or Saterlandic, which is spoken in the Saterland area in the former state of Oldenburg, to the south of East Frisia proper. Saterland, which is believed to have been colonized by Frisians from East Frisia in the 11th century, was for a long time surrounded by impassable moors. This, together with the fact that Sater Frisian always had a status superior to Low German among the inhabitants of the area, accounts for the preservation of the language throughout the centuries. Another important factor might be that after the 30 Years' War, Saterland became part of the bishopric of Munster. As a consequence, it was brought back to the Catholic Church, resulting in isolation from the principal Protestant part of East Frisia since about 1630. So marriages were no longer contracted with people from the north. Speakers. Today, estimates of the number of speakers vary slightly. Saterland Frisian is spoken by approximately 2,250 people, out of a total population of the Saterland area of some 10,000. An estimated 2,000 people speak the language well, of which slightly less than a half are native speakers. The vast majority of native speakers belong to the older generation. Saterland Frisian is thus a seriously endangered language. It might, however, no longer be moribund, as several reports suggest that the number of speakers is rising among the younger generation, some of whom raise the children in Saterlandic dialects. There are three fully mutually intelligible dialects, corresponding to the three main villages of the municipality of Saterland: Ramslo, Scharrel, and Straklingen. The Ramslo dialect now somewhat enjoys a status as a standard language, since a grammar and a word list were based on it. Status. The German government has not committed significant resources to the preservation of Sater Frisian. Most of the work to secure the endurance of this language is therefore done by the Seeltaboen, along with North Frisian and 5 other languages. Sater Frisian was included in Part 3 of the European Charter for Regional and Minority Languages by Germany in 1998. Since about 1800, Sater Frisian has attracted the interest of a growing number of linguists. During the last century, a small literature developed in it. Also, the New Testament of the Bible has been translated into Sater Frisian. Phonetics and phonology. The phonology of Saterland Frisian is regarded as very conservative in linguistic terms, as the entire East Frisian language group was conservative with regards to Old Frisian. The following tables are based on studies by Marin C. Fort. Vowels. Monophthongs. The consonant R is often realized as a vowel in the syllable coda. Short vowels, semi-long vowels, long vowels, diphthongs, consonants, plosives. Today, voiced plosives in the syllable coda are usually terminally devoiced. Older speakers and a few others may use voiced codas. Fricatives. Other consonants. Sample text. Saterland Frisian. Die want strucke dat worked umjuk eluan oped hier abdesoken. North Frisian. Die drang a dat fumunum dat kanen makit ha or da ik. West Frisian. De jong streekit famke omit kin en toet harop wangen. East Frisian. Low Saxon. De young strakt a dat wichtumt kin tuan tuijet horop de wangen. German. Der junge streichelt das Madschnums kin und kust sie oft I wangen. Dutch. De jongen aide streelt het meisje over haar kin en kust haar op haar wangen. Afrikaans. Die zien streel die meisje or harken en zoon haar op haar wange. English. The boy stroked the girl on the chin and kissed her on the cheeks.